The Tennessee swim and dive team heads down to Athens, Georgia on Tuesday for the SEC Championships. I sat down with a young but decorated swimmer, Camille Spink. Camille Spink is an SEC and NCAA medalist. She's swum internationally. She's gone to the Olympic trials twice, and she was part of the all-SEC freshman team. She ranks 19th nationally and 8th collegiately, according to SwimCloud, and she sat down with me to talk her roots, her rise to the top of the ranks, and her future in swimming.
I think I had a lot of involvement with the people in my community and my family. I mean, I started out swimming at the age of 7 with my summer swim team in my neighborhood.
Spink grew up in the small town life in Prince William County. Located in Northern Virginia, her small town is called Haymarket. With a 2020 census population of 1,500, the town has a total area of 0.6 square miles.
I think because of where I lived in, since swimming was so popular, I had a slow start, but it was very welcoming.
Northern Virginia is known for its competitive year-round swimming, and even Spink, hailing from a smaller town, found her way into the mix of impressive stars. So how did you go from being in this small town to all of a sudden being involved with year-round swim?
I got a lot of support from my coaches and my family members. I started out at a club swim team that only practiced 3 days a week, and my coach on that team was basically like, Camille, you're doing too good, you need to go and swim more. So then I started at Nation's Capital, and I really began to thrive there with my coaches, swimming a lot more and actually competing against people.
Nation's Capital Swim Club is not your average year-round team. Olympic medalists Tom Dolan and Mike Berriman hailed from Nation's Capital. But perhaps the most famous of all alumni there, one of the greatest female swimmers of all time, Katie Ledecky. However, Spink didn't rise in the ranks herself until she swam at Olympic trials in 2020 when she was just 16 years old. When it came time for you to choose a college, what was the recruitment process like for you?
So my recruiting started at Olympic trials because June 15th was during the meet, and since I went to Wave 1 and Wave 2 of the 2021 Olympic trials, I was really scouted by a lot of colleges there because I had the exposure of winning at Wave 1 to earn my spot at Wave 2. And I had to put my phone down and turn it completely off for the rest of that meet because I kept getting a ton of emails from colleges, and I was so thankful I was getting all these, but I knew that I couldn't look at them until I was done with the meet.
The University of Tennessee was one of many schools working to convince Spink to join their team. Her mother went to the University of Georgia, but Tennessee proved to be the only suitor that mattered to Spink.
I started with 20 schools, and I had no idea where I wanted to go. My mom graduated from the University of Georgia, so obviously I really wanted to talk to them too, and I had a handful of schools that I was really, really interested in. You know, some of them didn't really work out, and I took a visit to 3 of them. Tennessee was my first, and I took the other 2 to make sure that I really wanted to go here because I felt it on the first time that I stepped on campus that this was a place that I wanted to be.
So it was instant for you. When you stepped on campus, you were like, this is my home for the next 4 years?
I think it was when I met the team and when I met Coach Matt. He really was the nail in the board for me. He resembles so much of what I'm looking for in a coach.
Matt Kretich has been coaching Tennessee Swim and Dive since 2005. The 4-time SEC Coach of the Year has led the Lady Vols to 2 SEC championships, the first ever in 2020.
The times come from positive coaching, and I think that he has a really beautiful way of doing that where it's not so much fear-driven workouts, it's more freedom to swim the way that you see.
That same freedom to swim that led to her demolishing her freshman year. Along with medaling at the Pan American Games, Spink had a dominant performance in the 2024 SEC Championship. She competed at the NCAA Championship and swam at the Olympic trials for a second time. So you've gone to the Olympic trials twice, once when you were 16 in 2020, most recently this past summer. Are you eyeing up 2028, the Olympic trials?
I 100% am. I plan on swimming for a little while after I graduate college. I think that I have a bigger future in international swimming, and I'm going to try for that this summer too at World Champ Trials here.
While she targets the Olympics farther into the future, Spink has a task at hand sooner rather than later. The University of Tennessee heads to Bulldog Town in Athens, Georgia for the SEC Championships, a meet Spink is all too familiar with.
Last year, Camille, you dominated the SEC Championships. You took home 7 medals, 3 individual, 2 silver, and 1 gold. I mean, can we top that, Camille? Is the bar too high?
My goal is to top that this year.
I like it.
I had so much fun last year. It was probably my favorite meet that I've ever swam at in my whole entire life. I believe that I have even greater capabilities than I did last year, and I am truly out to win it. I think that, if I go in with the same mindset and I have my team behind me and I trust that, then I can swim freely and I can swim the races that I want to. I am much more defined in how I swim my 200 this year, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out. I think that I expect a bigger time drop in that event too, but I love my 100 and I love my 50, and I'm just so excited to rip it.
As she heads to SECs with a goal in mind, Spink tries to knock down any of the weight on her shoulders and focus on herself.
Do you feel any pressure set on you for the future? How young you are, how accomplished you've been, maybe shoes to fill for the future, Camille?
When I think about swimming, some people tend to believe that once you hit the age of 20, you're kind of old. And just because there's these 16 and 17-year-olds coming out and doing these incredible things, that's amazing. But I don't believe that I'm getting that old, and I think that, I have so many more years left to give in the sport. I don't feel pressure to perform anything at all because I've already had such amazing accomplishments and I've met such amazing people. I have such a bright future, and I know that either way, whether I get these accomplishments or not, that I'm going to have a whole community in town of supporters behind me, whatever I plan to do, and the accomplishments just come with it.
But it's not strictly business for Spink either. Spink enjoys hanging out with friends and teammates as well as spending time outdoors. Some of them even refer to her differently, as Camille Speed. What started as a workplace nickname has turned into a full-blown persona.
So, where did you get the name Camille Speed? Where did that come from? Do you remember getting it?
I have no idea. It had to have been Josh Lively. I have
Lively?
No clue.
I got you.
There's a bunch of people that call me that now, but it came originally from the Instagram, and I'm like, Camille Speed. I like her. She's cool.
That's cool.
What helps Camille Spink turn into Camille Speed, you may ask? Her favorite pre-race meal, applesauce in a pouch, or commonly known as Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze?
I love Go-Go Squeeze. I love Go-Go Squeeze so much. Go-Go Squeeze, I love you. Please.
Sponsor, right?
I would love it. Go-Go Squeeze is my favorite. I will have 2 or 3 of them. I think it's so easy on the stomach, and I don't like to eat a lot before I swim. I like to feel like I'm light, and Go-Go Squeeze is perfect for that. It's
absolutely.
So good.
It's light. As Camille Spink heads to the SECs, she doesn't forget about swimming for herself. She remembers all of her roots and all the people that have helped her get there. In Knoxville, I'm Luke Lamery, Fall News.